Thanks, James. It's so good to see people together once again in a room instead of on a screen. I'm still getting used to it. Of course, the pandemic is not fully over, but it is nice to see people and socialize and celebrate today some important news. Good morning and welcome to Energy NL's conference. I have to admit, as Premier, this is something that I've looked forward to, and I enjoy this event very much, to see the energy and the passion that you all bring to this important industry. My friends, in Newfoundland and Labrador, we are leading the way in the energy sector on this edge of Canada. And to be in the room with the innovators, the stakeholders, the change makers, all of those who have the best interest of our province in mind, in and of itself, creates such positive energy. And I know I'm not alone in saying that I will leave here today feeling genuinely excited about what's happening now, and perhaps more importantly, more excited about what's to come for the energy sector in Newfoundland and Labrador. My friends, collectively, we have a huge responsibility. There are global issues to address, directions to be mapped, achievements to be celebrated, and at the same time built upon. But knowing the energy in this room with all of you, I have full confidence that our edge is razor sharp and our direction is true. I have to thank the Board of Energy NL, James and Charlene, who have always taken my call, middle of the night, some tough topics, but they've always been solid partners, and I can't thank you enough for that in navigating these tough waters over the last 2 years. So thank you for being true partners, for giving us the opportunity to further build on relationships and unite our efforts in a national fight. The title of this year's event, Our Place in the Global Energy Evolution, you'll notice is a statement, not a question. We all recognize the energy sector is changing. It's evolving. But when you think about it, when hasn't it? And we're not looking for our place in this evolution. We are looking to see how we advance by redefining and defining our space within it. The sector changes, we change. The sector pivots, we pivot. It's not about following the trends or responding to the day-to-day issues. It's about continuously evolving with the industry, for the industry, driving it. Just look how much change has occurred in the last 2 years. The unimaginable obstacles we've overcome. Take a good look around this very room. This isn't the same room it was 5 years ago. This is not the same Newfoundland and Labrador. But you know what? It has never been the same Newfoundland and Labrador. Our history is a story of constant change, of survival, and a blueprint to rebuild and redefine. It's all a part of what makes this province a leader in the energy sector, because change is in our DNA. Our government continues to support this evolution because we know the importance it plays in moving to a lower carbon, greener economy. Now, just last week, I heard someone say that there's no such thing as green energy when it comes to fossil fuels. It struck me as how short-sighted and myopic that statement was. How it dismisses an entire industry because it doesn't comply with some carved-in-stone definition about what it means to be green. For us, as Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, green energy means delivering a product that's miles ahead of everyone else when it comes to minimizing the impact it has on the environment. We can't hold two thoughts in our head at once. No pipelines, no problem for us. Green energy means that we can deliver a product that reduces our carbon impact while delivering a product that is in demand for the foreseeable future around the world. And that future is shining bright. Now, when I started this job, they said that the industry was over, that Terra Nova was the canary in the coal mine. Well, as a government, we fought to negotiate a good deal to save that project and to inject enthusiasm into the industry. And the Canary is once again ready to set sail. As you know, in the recent weeks, Beta Nor was declared in a major hurdle for federal approval in the environmental assessment process. Now, many said it couldn't get done. It wouldn't get done. It would have strings attached, and we would be on our knees. But it did get done. We fought hard. We didn't back down. We fought in every corner of Ottawa. We made sure our voice was heard because it was the right thing to do. It made sense. It made sense for the industry. It made sense for the province. It made sense for the country. And it made sense for the world. This framework that we will use with Beta Nor can be the new gold standard moving forward about how we should reflect on and advance projects, recognizing the space that this industry can play in the energy disruption. As a government, we have been fighting for building a track record and a trajectory of moving forward within this industry. And speaking of moving forward, of course, some of you have probably seen the tweet. I'm happy to announce the good news that the West White Rose project is moving ahead. A project that couldn't have happened, wouldn't have happened. It's a good day. This project couldn't have happened, it wouldn't have happened without the support and enthusiasm and the hard work of people in this room. You never gave up. You always believed. We made sure that the West White Rose project this time had a decommissioning fund built in and included a $100 million green transitioning fund. The project, as you all know, has a 20-year lifespan, and it's expected to generate almost $20 billion in gross domestic product, over $7 billion in labor income, and create 250 permanent platform jobs, as well as up to 1,500 more direct and indirect jobs as a result of this project. This is what the province needs right now. This is part of the momentum that is moving this industry forward while generating opportunities for the next generation. A time of true transition, of strategy. Planning for our future in a greener economy is also part of that momentum. And we all recognize that. Of course, you more than anybody. Energy NL rebranded to reflect the progress of not only its association, but of the industry, and where we want to go as an industry and as a province. The provincial and federal governments are capitalizing on the emerging opportunities we all know are there in this time of disruption in the growing energy sector. And that's why we've worked to modernize the Canada, Newfoundland, and Labrador Offshore Petroleum Board. I think that was buried in some of the excitement around Beta Nor, to ensure that we are looking to expand and include the regulation of offshore renewable energy. This is an important development for the future of Newfoundland and Labrador. And it's all a part of advancing our efforts to achieve net zero by 2050. Hold on, I'll get that. It's important for us, for our industry, for our province, and indeed for our future. It's why our government in Budget 2022 have encouraged further growth, development, and diversification of our economy with a new 20% green technology tax credit. Now, this credit is specifically for Canadian-controlled private corporations, many of them are in this room, I'm sure, that invest in equipment for energy conservation and clean energy, generation of energy from waste fuels, or make efficient use of existing fossil fuels. My friends, these are positive steps forward in our energy evolution. And there are even more and more to come, as you all well know, and is displayed, frankly, in some of the podiums that I saw outside. We all know, frankly, no one in this room is ostriching and doesn't recognize that climate change is real and is here. And we continue to see the impact of it here and around the world. It used to be the occasional thing we saw, but it's almost daily now. I can remember as a child, as I'm sure many of you in the room do, we knew that when May and June came, it meant that pack ice would fill almost every bay and inlet on the northeast Avalon, the northeast of the province. Well, you just don't see that anymore. We all must realize that every decision we make moving forward will directly impact the future of this province. Not in 50 years, but in the very next generation. That is the task at hand. That is how immediate and important this is for all of us. It's why our industry and our government have set a new standard for emissions. And I know while these emission standards may be high to work in our jurisdiction, they are high because we know what is at stake. They are high because we know the people in this room can deliver. We can be proud of projects like Beta Nor. It will be the most efficient carbon project development of its scale in Canada, with emissions at half the international average. It will play a key role in helping the province meet the global demand for responsible oil, while also helping the country meet its commitments to net zero by 2050. Two thoughts in your head at once. We are in the best position possible to answer the world's demand for low-emission oil that can more easily be delivered with the least impact to the environment. Not every jurisdiction can say that. My friends, that's our product. We own it. We should be proud of it. We can celebrate it. It can be sent around the world, and this is an opportunity that we have right now that we won't let slip through our fingers. We see the potential. We know it's there. Global companies see the potential too, and that's why they are here. We have the industry, we have the workforce, we have the supply and service community, so it's easy to see why global companies come to our shores. Our industry is leading the way in enhanced efficiency, safety, and smart operations. We're identifying digitalization opportunities to further lower the carbon footprint. Just look at the projects that we have approved through the Oil and Gas Industry Recovery Assistance Fund, a creative way to help during the pandemic by Kraken Robotics, Atlantic XL, Pangeo, Subsea, Altomax, and IntexC. These companies are all working towards a greener, lower carbon economy. We all are, because there are always new avenues to explore. Disruption brings immense opportunity, and our government recently announced the lifting of the wind moratorium, another opportunity from this disruption. Now, while policy work is underway, we are already hearing from numerous interests from companies around the world. And let's face it, there's no shortage of wind here in Newfoundland and Labrador. We have some of the best wind resources in North America. We all know it. I like to think that's why I'm so short. My only worry is that too many windmills will blow the island a little further closer to New England. And I'm frankly not a Pats fan, so that doesn't work for me either. The energy evolution, as you all know, is a revolution, and our province is the epicenter. We have the brightest minds, making the boldest moves. And we know there's no better place positioned right now during this time of transition to clean energy than right here at home in Newfoundland and Labrador. We are positioned to be the green battery for Eastern Canada and the northeastern United States. We can be the hydrogen supplier to Europe. There's so much to dream about during this time of disruption, so much to execute on, so many opportunities for the future. And I know together with the people in this room, we are the leaders in this energy evolution. If we could harness the enthusiasm and potential in this room, it would be an energy source unlike any other. So the question isn't, what will we do next? The question is how we move forward together for a greener future, for each of us, for all the generations to come. These are not mutually exclusive events. Two thoughts in your head at once. So in the presence of such esteemed company, allow me to give you one piece of advice. Unsolicited advice is never recommended, by the way. Always, as you have, continue to be bold. Boldness is what has driven this industry. It's what fuels evolution. It's how we take these giant steps towards a brighter, lower carbon future. Together. 2 thoughts in your head at once. Thank you very much.